Hello, today I will be doing a build tutorial on a destructive build that I developed myself. It is very effective, but like any build, it comes with a few downsides. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Intro first.
Here we go.
Okay, so first, we're going to want to place a seat. Next, place down a cake block on the seat. Now, find a heavy and durable material like titanium, obsidian, or gold to use. Use whichever one you have most of. Place the block on top of the cake as shown. Select it with the scale tool and change the scale to 0.25. Scale down the block once or twice, then adjust the top to make it a cube again. Now, place a block on each side of the one that is attached to your avatar. Now, select your scale tool and change the scale to 5. Extend each of the sides outward one time. Place a block at the end of each extended block and scale them so they connect. When you have this shape, scale each of the sides up by 7 or 8 times. You can make the walls thinner if you don't have that many blocks. But for the video, I am making the walls 1 block thick. Do the same thing for the other walls. Make sure not to delete the seat yet. It is important and you're going to need it later on. Place a block somewhere on top and scale it, so you have a roof over your box. This step is unnecessary and likely isn't effective. But if you want to add it just in case you think you need it, follow what I do. Grab a TNT block and rotate it so it is vertical. Now, place the TNT around your avatar. It shouldn't matter how you place them as long as it's somewhere nearby your avatar. This should be enough, but I'm going to clone it just because. I forgot to mention that it is easier to work with when the fuses are facing upwards. Let me fix that real quick. I kind of messed up, but it's good enough. Now, you're going to want to raise the TNT so it doesn't get in the way. You might have to delete a few TNT blocks, because it is important that there is enough space to be able to place a cake on the seat. Anyways, now that that is taken care of, let's get started with the main offense. Place a block at the center of the roof and scale so it's thicker. If you don't have the blocks to do this, you can make it hollow with a 0.5 thickness. Scale the block again so it's thicker on the other side as well. Now have the same block selected and scale it upwards. How high you scale it is up to you, but for the video, I'm scaling it up 43 studs. In my opinion, somewhere between 35 to 55 studs is recommended. Place a block towards the front but also near the top of the block that you just scaled. It doesn't really matter how thick you make this block, but make sure to extend it backwards so it is not just touching, but kind of inside the giant pillar. Now, change the scale to 20 and scale the block outwards as shown. Scale the block once again to create a sort of roof over the area in front of your avatar. Okay, so now that you made this platform thing, it's time to put the weapons on it. You can use miniguns and cannons. Just place them facing down on the platform or regularly among the sides. For the video, I'm just going to be using miniguns to save time. Also, whichever you use does not have to be in any specific pattern or order. It can be random like how I do it here. When building this, do not use harpoons. They're going to ruin the build since this thing is going to be attached to your avatar. Now, select the weapon you used and move them downwards a little so that the barrel is below the platform. Select the platform with the screwdriver tool and turn it collisions off. Whether you have the weapons up on the platform, collisions on or off is up to you, but collisions off is better performance and is recommended. For this part, the option of collisions on or off is optional. But as for me, I leave it collisions on. Now that the main offense is finished, it is time to add the spikes. Place the spikes along the sides of the box around your avatar, so that you can damage players when they come close. Though one layer is sufficient, I duplicated the spike blocks to create another layer. Select another strong and heavy material. If you're running out of the one you're using, it is okay to use another. It shouldn't affect the performance. Place it on one of the spike blocks and move it so it is partially inside the spike. Now you can scale the block up by 20. Change the scale from 20 back to 1. Scale the block so it covers the whole side of the thing, along with the spike blocks. Select your new wall and clone it to the other side, or do the same thing for each of the sides. Use your scale tool to fill in the corners. Though it is fine the way it is, this is an extra precaution to ensure the build won't break. Place another block and scale it so it covers the top of the box. Select all the walls of the new outer box you have, and make them collisions off. Place a switch somewhere in the back of the build. Everything should automatically connect. If you added the TNT, make sure to disconnect them from the switch. You want them to explode on impact rather than when you flip the switch. The build should be fine the way it is right now, but I am placing more blocks to reinforce the structure. This step is unnecessary. I wanted to make it look somewhat nicer even though this thing is going to be invisible anyways. The build is going to need some adjusting. To make sure the switch doesn't break, select the back wall and move it outward 3 to 4 times. Select the switch and move it so that it is resting on the wall of the inner box. Adjust the switch's position if you need to. Also make sure that you are able to click it from where you are. Now, adjust the walls to connect with the one you moved. Now that you have the build mostly finished, you can delete the cake that is attached to your avatar. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I added cannons around this thing. Don't copy this because it has no use. The cannons will get a clearer shot if they were up on the same platform as the miniguns. Anyways, back to the tutorial. Okay, so now you select the whole build and move it forward a little bit. After you do that, move it upwards. Anyways, move the thing backwards again and then place a jetpack near your thing. Use a steampunk jetpack if you have it, but if you don't, it's okay. A regular jetpack works the same. I'm going to teach you how to use the thing now, but before I do, be sure to save the build in case something goes wrong. Where am I even going? Okay, so now walk up into your build and use your jetpack to try and sit on the chair. When you're on the chair, place down a cake block in the same place it was before it was deleted. Now that that is done, you can unanchor everything now. If you messed up like me, load it in again. Grab a jetpack again and get back up to the seat. When you're on the seat, delete the jetpack. That is what I did wrong last time. Delete the jetpack, then add the cake. Now you can delete the seat and unanchor everything afterwards. That is all for the building part. The thing moves according to your character movements because it is attached to your avatar. A nice and useful feature. This build has is being able to move your avatar from one place to the other quickly. This build also provides a clear shot for most of your weapons to hit by them being spove. And if you happen to miss, you can go into shift lock mode to try to hit your target like that. A major downside to this build is that you are stuck on the plot. Also, it is pretty hard to hit flying targets When everything is finished, you can now make the build fully transparent. This concludes the tutorial. I hope you found this useful. And remember to leave a like and consider subscribing for more content like this. Have a good day and see you all in another epic video.